Aluminum foil is a pretty common household item and we use it a lot in the kitchen. There are claims out there that using aluminum foil to cook with can cause the aluminum to seep into your food and put you at health risk. Is it true? In today's video, we will be looking at whether aluminum foil and other products that are made out of aluminum are safe for use for cooking and what you can do. Roasting chicken or roasting fish or baking something, making kwakoko or something tonight, chances are you're going to use aluminum foil or you're going to cook it in something that has aluminum. What happens is some of the aluminum in the foil is going to leach out and get into the food that you're cooking, and research is now showing that people that have Alzheimer's disease, this aluminum is linked to Alzheimer's disease, and Alzheimer's is that disease where you forget as you grow older. It is not a good thing. So should we now all throw away the aluminum foil that we have in our kitchens? Maybe, maybe not. A couple of months ago, I shared something on my page on Facebook, the egg bake, that I used this moi pans to make the egg bake in, and somebody commented and said maybe I should consider using something else because the aluminum is not good for food use. I paid attention and I didn't pay too much attention. And then yesterday or a couple of days ago, my husband also shared a video with me about the health risks of using aluminum foil in cooking. Here's the video he shared with me. I'll let you watch that.
If you go into most kitchens, you'll find aluminum foil in one of the drawers. It's a pretty common kitchen staple that's used for cooking, wrapping, even to treat certain common ailments. People have been using aluminum foil for years, often on a daily basis. What you might not know is that a recent study has found that there are things about this kitchen staple that you don't know, and you need to. Doctors are warning that you should probably stop using aluminum foil right away. Aluminum is a neurotoxic-rich material. It can have serious side effects on the function of your brain. It's also been associated with Alzheimer's disease. Many doctors believe that exposure to this heavy metal can cause adverse effects that can last a long time. A few issues that are caused by this metal include loss of balance, memory issues, lack of coordination, loss of bodily control, and mental decline. Researchers have also found that when you cook with aluminum foil, it can have an effect on your bones. Aluminum can build up in your bones when you use it for cooking, and that can take the place of calcium in your bones, reducing your bone strength. In time, frequent use of aluminum foil could cause your bones to break more easily. It's not just the brain and the bones that can be affected by cooking with aluminum foil either. Studies have shown that its use has been linked to pulmonary fibrosis as well. The study also showed that if you inhale aluminum particles, it can result in respiratory problems, and that often occurs when you grill using aluminum foil. If you cook with aluminum foil at very high temperatures, part of the metal can be emitted into the food, making it unsafe to eat. A chemical engineer researcher at the American University of Sharjah, Dr. Essam Zubaidi, evaluated the effects of aluminum and cooking, and his study found that when you cook one meal in aluminum foil, it can introduce up to 400 milligrams of aluminum into your food. According to the World Health Organization, the recommended daily allowance of aluminum is limited to only 60 milligrams a day. Since you can get 400 milligrams introduced in your food when you use it to cook in just one meal, you can see how dangerous this really is. Furthermore, the higher the temperature, the more leaching occurs, and the more dangerous your food becomes. The doctor also found that while cooking with foil is a bad idea, it's even worse when you use it to cook vegetables like tomatoes, citrus juices, or spices. Unlike vitamins, minerals, and iron, our bodies don't need aluminum. Also, our body is not able to process it correctly. Since your body can't process aluminum, you wonder what happens to it after it's ingested? Studies have shown that it accumulates in your brain, lungs, kidney, liver, and even your thyroid, and that can put your health in great jeopardy. Aluminum can damage your central nervous system as well. Even worse, aluminum has been linked to autism in children. When children are exposed to aluminum in their drinking water, it can cause bone, brain, and kidney disease. Research has shown that aluminum can cause toxic stress on your brain. If your brain stores too much aluminum, it can result in MS, epilepsy, ADD, Alzheimer's, chronic fatigue syndrome, and other serious neurological disorders. The best thing you can do for your health and the health of your family is to reduce your exposure to aluminum. Since it is the most abundant metal on the planet, it's impossible to avoid it altogether. Fortunately, though, there are steps you can take to limit your exposure. Start by using aluminum-free cookware. You should also avoid personal hygiene products that contain aluminum hydroxide. And finally, cut back on your consumption of processed foods. Another step that you can take is to consume more foods that remove heavy metals naturally. These include onions, garlic, cilantro, carrot juice, green tea, burdock, and high-grade bentonite. Now that you know how harmful aluminum can be to your body, it might be time to get rid of it altogether. That might mean a more difficult cleanup after cooking and finding a new method to cook baked potatoes, but these small sacrifices are worth it since they could essentially save your life.
If you come from a developing country as I do, you would know that most of the pots that we grew up seeing our mothers use, and I think they're still using those pots today, are the pots made out of aluminum. So I was thinking, every time they cook in these pots, hot food in these pots, are we then just now doomed because we've been eating foods cooked in aluminum pots? I don't know, but it's something I thought I should bring up. As you start cooking in your aluminum pot, boiling water, usually it forms that matte surface where it's not shiny anymore. And what do? We take iron sponge, take soft sponge, now we scrub them. What you do when you scrub like that, you remove that surface that has been oxidized, that was protecting you from the aluminum in the first place. So we're now taking that protective surface out by all that scrubbing every time we do dishes. And then when you cook something in the pot, the aluminum leaches out from the pot into your food and then you eat it. Not good. Foods that are acidic, like your tomato sauce, or you cook something that has lemons inside, or things that are very spicy, they cause this aluminum to leach out even more. It's kind of like corrosive, and it causes more of that aluminum to leach out from the foil or the pot or whatever surface. So if you're gonna put food in an aluminum pan or cook something on aluminum foil, please make sure you don't have the heat plus the acid. It's a bad idea. So no hot foods, especially the acidic type, on aluminum, so that you can reduce your exposure that way. If you're going to use aluminum foil to wrap something like your cocky beans, cocky corn, or cocoa in it, in place of a leaf, what you can do is use parchment paper to line the foil before you wrap your food in it. That way you don't have your food coming into direct contact with the foil. Same thing for baking. If you're going to use an aluminum foil so that it makes cleanup easy to line your baking pan, also put parchment on top before you bake something in the oven. So that's how I'm going to try to reduce my exposure to aluminum, and you can be sure I'm not going to use this anymore. Pyrex glass dishes, the brand that says Pyrex, these can go in the oven. So you can use these in place of aluminum pans. When we have like buffets or parties around here, we usually use chafing dishes, and most of the time we put the food in aluminum. If you can reduce some of that, that would be awesome. Use stainless steel in place of that aluminum, especially if you're putting something inside that is acidic. All right, I don't think we should throw away everything that is made out of aluminum, but we can work to reduce our exposure to aluminum. Nobody wants to have Alzheimer's when they're older. Alzheimer's is, I think, is worse than just being blind, because essentially you are alive, but you have no idea what is going on around you. So if they're saying something has the potential to cause Alzheimer's, let's not wait until we're older and then we find out that we cannot even remember where we are. It's a bad idea. All right. Okay. So thank you so much for watching to the end, and remember to stay healthy and fit, because you are worth it. I'll see you in my next video. Chat soon. Bye bye.